Hari Om to all the divine Atma Jyotis. Let us continue our contemplation of Bhaja Govindam. Today it is 7, 8 and 9. So who would like to do it? Shubhaji, would you like to share your view?
Yeah, the main essence I see here is Shankaracharya is asking us not to get attached to anything. When we are young, we want to play sports. When we are in the youth, we get attracted to the opposite sex. And when we get old, we get anxiety and worries, all that. So keep aside all those things throughout your life and think only about Brahman is the basic main essence I see in 7, 8 and 9, sir.
Okay.
Even in 8, the message is similar. Don't get attached to your wife, your son, wealth. So this cycle of samsara, don't get bogged down by this cycle of samsara. Think about your ultimate self and focus on that. And that is the only truth, is what Sri Shankaracharya is guiding us towards.
Here is also prompted us with the most fundamental questions.
Yeah. Who am I?
Yeah. And the 9th one?
Yeah. And all these things you can achieve, like your recognition of the self can be done only through the company of good people. And when you have the company of good people, you end up learning the truth of Viveka Vairagya, and all these things leads to your freedom and liberation in life.
Very nice.
This is the main essence I see in these 3 shlokas.
Okay. Deepaji, your views?
When one is a child, they'll be wanting to play, they're attached to it, and they'll play the whole time. Whenever they kind of feel like playing. In the youth, they'll be attracted to the opposite sex. And then old will be tensed. So all the time we'll be worrying. But no one is attached to the Supreme Brahman, which is the reality and which we are supposed to think of. We aren't doing that. So it is stressed to think. We are stressed to think of Brahman. That's it. The questions, who are you, then where I have come from, all these are the things that we are supposed to think, but we aren't thinking of that. Whether it's the wife or the son, whoever it is, we are just going behind that. We are always worried about the things we are attached to. That's it. To the company of the good, like all these satsangs, non-attachment would arise, and from non-attachment, we'll get a freedom from the delusion. And we can go in the path of liberation in life through these satsangs.
Thank you, Deepaji. Okay, so anyone else wants to share?
Sir, one question I had.
Yes, please.
Through this Bhaja Govindam,
Yeah.
Shankaracharya saying that we give up on our uh, give up on all these things in our life. Like should we live a life of an ascetic or a sannyasi? Is he trying to say that, or you can live your life but follow all these things?
Yeah, so the general understanding of sannyasi or sannyasa is, somebody who wears a certain dress, gives up them physically, lives in a very secluded place with very little possessions. That's the general understanding that we have. So there are two ways of looking at it. Sannyasa is, the word sannyasa means samyak nyasaha iti sannyasa. The right deposit of the mind is sannyasa. Samyak nyasa. We deposit our mind. Where do we deposit our mind? That place is very important. Are we depositing our mind in the acquisition of all this wealth? Are we depositing our mind in satisfying our sense needs? Then that is the one which binds us. So samyak nyasa or sannyasa means to turn the mind inwards from the senses towards your true self, realizing your true self. Realizing true self means what? You are already that. Realizing that you are already that, and nothing else can make you complete or less, is the one which truly liberates you from running behind the sense enjoyments. So, as a first practice, when there is too much of sense involvement, there has to be some kind of a restriction. It is like you cannot really stop someone from stealing just because of the fear of the police. They may be stopping from stealing. But when can somebody really stop stealing? When somebody realizes that I don't have to steal. So at the first step, maybe out of fear of the police, somebody may be not doing it. It is like our typical signal problem, no? When there is no police or nobody is there, we jump the signal. If police is there, we kind of look around and stop, right? That is out of fear. That is not a true awakening. True awakening is when somebody is not stealing because they have realized there is no point in stealing. So like that, the sannyasa at a beginning stage, it also helps to for example, when you practice Ekadashi, the desire and the excessive attachment towards eating food reduces in one sense, right? So now the role of a sannyasi in the society is far higher. Shankaracharya was a sannyasi, and he dedicated and offered his life to establish the right jnana practice in the country. So in that sense, sannyasa is the highest way of living in life. In the varnashrama also, sannyasa ashrama comes at the end, right? So what does it mean? Now, for example, Prabhuji, you don't see him wearing the sannyasa dress, but he is a true sannyasi in the sense that he has now offered his life, dedicated his life to establish this entire jnana way of living life. So when you imbibe the practice and when you realize the truth, naturally the desire to run behind these money, wealth, naturally starts reducing. So that is true sannyasa. Does that bring clarity?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I saw that in one of the slokas as well. It's not about the look, right? In one of the slokas, he said.
Yeah. As we go
If
further,
the attachment is still there,
he
Yeah, I will.
clearly calls out,
Yeah, it
who's
is
the
there
true
in one of the
sannyasi.
slokas.
See here, he says, just because you have a matted
Yeah.
lock, your head is shaven, and you pull your hair one by one, and you did, wear various kinds of dresses, that doesn't make you a sannyasi. Or, even in this story, you may be
This one. Yeah.
living out of, begging, and you may be wearing kaupina. That also wouldn't make you a sannyasi. So therefore, he's clearly calling out the bondage of desire. So that's the true jnana. Where is your mind deposited? Outside, you may be a sannyasi. Inside, what is your mind thinking about constantly? Where is your mind deposited? Samyak nyasaha iti sannyasah.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else? Anybody else has any other point to add? Any other questions to ask? Padmaji, Satyaji, Sarananji, Shilpaji. Okay. Then we will end the contemplation here. Hari Om.